mathematical arrangement. Okay, suppose that we have to plot something between x and y axis. Okay, so for this to plotting something between x and y, we need two different type of data. One data will belong to x, and the another one will be belongs to y. And hence uh, you know creating a relation between these two, we can find a final result. And as we see, whatever the answer we had previously was in form of values, but now we are going to get them in visualization, in a data, in a plotting system. Okay, so for that, what we do, simply we import numpy. If you remember how we call numpy.
Yeah, import numpy as np.
Okay, and after that we have another thing to import. Okay, from matplot library, import pyplot. Okay, as plt. Okay, remember these two lines whenever you are going to create any data, any data sheet with a either a bar chart or a graphical presentation, you need to uh, import these two things. Okay, got it? So suppose that I have a data, suppose that I have a value x. Okay, so you can get the value of x from 1 to 10, or anything like 1000 to 2000, anything. Okay, so the way you can do is that uh, like creating something with a value like 1, 2, 3. So uh, overcoming this, just use another method which I taught you, np.arange. Okay, and recall a value from 20 to 41. Okay, okay, and just check it if it is correct. Yeah, it is correct. Why I counted 41? Because I wanted the value up to 20 to 40. So you know that it gives output n minus 1. Remember or not?
In the list, everything starts from 0. That is what you're trying to tell, right?
No.
Then
Yeah. Okay, as per indexing you are saying, correct. So for the second value, recall y. Okay, so to plot to bring a relation between x and y, we can simply say that x plus 1. So the x plus 1 will add one number into every single values. Okay, or x plus 2, then it will add 2 in every value, means it will become 22, 23, 24. You remember or not?
Yes,
Yeah,
remember this.
so simply I am just multiplying with 2. Okay, and let's get the value of y. So we have value of x and y. We have two different values, x and y. Okay, so for that, uh, to bring this in a graphical presentation, in a visualization form, just we recalled, uh, as you can see that we imported pyplot as plt. Okay, as plt. So I am using plt. Okay, plt dot plot what x, first call x and then call y. Okay, and again request for show. Okay, close it and just enter. So now you can see that we have a two different axes, x, and this one is x and this one is y. As you can see that the value of x is varying from 20 to 40, okay, with multiple data 20, 22.5, 25, 27.5, 30, 32. So this arrangement is self-adjusted. This is like uh, plotting, marking as to count it, to match this equation, okay. And you can also see that the value of y-axis is from 40 to 80, and related, you can see that the value of y is 40 to 80, 40, 42, 44, and similarly you can see the value of x is, which is 20 to 40. Any doubt?
No, good till now.
Okay, so as you can see here in this plot, this plot has, if I will give you this plot, you cannot find it, like, what is this, what kind of equation is this, okay. This plot is for which, what I mean to say, that what is this for, why this y-axis belongs to which thing, this x-axis belongs to which content, and what kind of relation between x and y, or why we have this chart, okay. So for that you can, uh, this Python gives you a benefit to create or to add or edit the title or the x-axis or the y-axis. You can name it as per your um, you know requirements, okay. So similarly, suppose that if uh, I'm not creating many datas because of time limitations. Okay, I think you all are understanding it pretty well. So let's add something within it. Okay, so for that, what we do, plt, okay, plt dot title, okay. So let's give it a title like single line, okay, single line diagram. So on the top of this figure, it will appear here. So you can see that single line diagram. So now this is like, oh, this is something that this equation is for a single line diagram, okay. So I hope I could have the data, the character, or the variables, the name of these variables, like x-axis or like y-axis. So for that we can also create something, like we can give a label, okay. So for that we have plt dot label, okay, and plt dot label and the axis. This is the format, okay. So label for which, x-axis, okay, and I'm just naming it x, okay, correct. So this way, oh sorry, so as you can see that we have x-axis, okay. Any doubt?
It's all
Similarly,
clear, sir.
we can create it for plt for y label and like okay. So now we have two things, the x-axis, the y-axis. You can put here like uh, uh, market rate or Um, uh, and okay, so it will give you a single line diagram between end users and market rate. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have this equation, we have this data visualization. So I think you all are uh, you know, understanding the process. Is there any vacuum or any doubt?
I'm good till now. Like,
Okay, so I want to request you all that I'm just using this single equation. Is it okay to all of you, or should I, use the different equation? I think the equation or the example is, good. Okay. We do not need to use different examples for different situations. Can we go with this or what?
It is good. It's best, it's so simple.
Okay. Simply. So that we can cover a lot more. Okay. Okay. Suppose that we have this line. As you can see that this is a solid line. Can you see that? And the color is, which color appearing in your system is a cyan or a blue. Okay, so we can also change the color of this diagram. We can also change the shape of this line. We can also change the thickness of this line. We can change the appearance of this line. Okay, so uh, let's change its color first. Okay, so if you want to change the color, okay, which color? Suppose that I want to change it in yellow. Okay, so the line is converted into yellow. Can you see it? If you want to change it in red, use
Only
R.
one letter. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's an inbuilt function. We can't do anything with it. Okay, so as you can see that we just change it from blue to yellow and yellow to red. Similarly, you can change it into green. Okay, so we changed the color. Okay, and again, if you want to change the style of this line, okay, simply add a comma and add a syntax, a word which is line um, style. Okay, suppose that I am using this. Okay, so now you can see that the line style has been changed from solid to dotted lines. Can you see the difference between the previous example and this example? A lot of difference, isn't
yeah.
it?
So
Yes.
is yes, it's
Yeah, if you want to again, if you want to change its color again, you can change the color. It doesn't mean that it's the thing is shorted and fixed. You can change it anytime. So you can say in a Python term, it is a mutable. Okay, so you can edit your graph, you can edit your data presentation anytime with use of these things. Okay, suppose that if you want to change its width, okay, suppose that, not suppose, actually this is a single width line. Okay, if you want to double it, if you want to triple it, okay, so just give a value that how much thickness you want. So for that, um, a line width is a term which we are using. I am giving 5. Okay, so as you can see, the dotted line has been shifted in a this way. If you don't want to keep this dotted line, simply remove this. Okay, it will appear in a solid line. So now it's more visible and more now you can visualize it more correctly, isn't it? So any doubt so far?
No, good.
Good,
No,
great.
we're good.
Okay, so suppose that this is a equation for a single between two values. Suppose that if I have a x parameter, a unit x parameter, which means a single array for x, and what if we have multiple arrays for y? Suppose that the first x is the twice of the first, suppose that this y1 is twice of x, and the y2 will be twice of uh, thrice of x. Okay, simply. Okay, then what we need to do is that we need to uh, I think now I need to change the example, or otherwise it will create a confusion for you guys. Okay, suppose that I have the y1 value. Okay, I already have the x. Let me import it here. Okay, so I have the x value of x. I'm just creating it for x multiplied by 2, and y2 equals to x multiplied by 3. Okay, so for that I'm just using a plot again, plotting it, plot, so plt dot plot, and we have the value of x and the y1. Okay, as you can see that we have plot x and y1. Okay, similarly we can plt dot plot, what we can plot, x and y2. So it will be added into this line. Can you see the two lines? We have two different equations. Okay, so this was for a single equation, and this is for a double. You can multiply it with y3, y4, and so far. You can go with multiple lines. Okay, so the provision for this multiple line is that you can, if you have a, suppose that this is a value which is dependent on x, and the the value of x which is constant, and the value of y will vary as per the, suppose that this is a demand and supply chain. On Sunday some customer needs 2 carat of eggs. On Wednesday they are looking for 3 carats of eggs. So you can just relate these things. Okay, so you can create equations if you need to visualize things. Okay, so do not consider it simply as x and y. It is not a simple relation between x and y. It can be anything. Okay, I'm using x and y to make it simple for you guys. Okay, okay, so if you want to, like, again, if you want to change its color, um, or like line style, Okay, line style, which will be like this. As you can see, the line style of first equation has been changed now. Can you see it? Similarly, if you want to change its uh, line style as, sorry, let's keep it simple. Okay, suppose that these two lines are of same style, in a same style, then how will you create something if you don't have any facility to change the shape of the line? Then what will you do? You need to add another keyword, which is line width, and you can give it a width of 4 or anything like that. So now you can differentiate, or you can simply add color as it is um, blue. It is blue already. It's okay, so make it yellow. Okay. So you have multiple variables, you have multiple data, you have multiple options to create a kind of structure. Got it? Any problem so far? Any question? Any doubt?
I am good.
No, I'm good.
Okay, thank you. And similarly, as you can see, like um, you can also add the things like this. I'm copy, and I'm copying and pasting it. Right. Okay. It will show error. No, it's not. So the second thing which is I want to discuss with all you guys is that the data visualization, you saw a single frame visualization, a single frame with a single data. Got it? With a single graphical presentation. You saw it with the single frame and multiple data, multiple equation. Okay. So there is also a facility which what we call is like you can say that adding two lines in a single frame or a same plot. Now, if you want to separate these things, if you want to separate these things, then what will you do? So for that, you can simply, like the way I did it, we have two different equations. Okay, you can put it like this. Okay, so it will give you it will separate a data, as you can see. Now we have two different diagram in a two different frame. I think a question should be asked here. If not, then I will consider it that no one is listening to me.
We're listening, Piyush. I understood actually. This one I have like done it once, so I remember it very clearly, like how to do this one.
And
Okay.
Piyush, I did this before too. I think I sent you a project, so I understand completely. That's why I'm not responding.
Sheena, you and Sanjay, all good?
I think
I
it's
am
harder
on.
for me because I haven't done this before, but I'm trying to understand it.
Okay. And Sanjay,
So I did this something similar, sir. So I understand it clearly.
okay. So the
Can
majority
I
of
ask one thing, Piyush? Like it might not be like very related to this topic, but
Mhm,
this one we generally use this kind of graphs in Tableau, right? Whenever we are building, we write this programs, or
correct.
do you know about it?
Yeah, I know about it.
Okay, okay. Because I'm not sure. I have got a task to create Tableau dashboard.
Okay.
So they are still working on the access thing. That's why if I would understand, like I understand this one properly, but this is
Mhm,
what we write on Tableau. That's what it is, right?
correct. So
Okay, okay.
so the majority of you know and you all practiced, which is very good news for me that I do not need to take more stress. But uh, for me, perfection is something like I will not take a class is good, but I will come with a proper uh, workbench. So as you can see that we have two separate graphs, but in first graph we have everything like market rate, end users, and single line diagram. But in second there is nothing. Why? So I wanted to I was looking for the question that why this is so like simple, why this graph have no data. So any question for sorry, any answer, any one of you, because you all are working, you all are practicing. So now please
Because the axes are not defined.
how you say that.
So for XY one, we have defined line style different and then line width different.
Mm,
And then for plot two, we have X and Y2, and then we
mm.
have defined the line style and the color as yellow. So we have defined differently for both the graphs. And we are bringing like we are having X-axis as same, and but we are bringing like two different datas from Y1 and Y2.
Okay, good. uh, it can be um, um, good answer, but the thing is others, it is a very simple thing. As you can see that from line 1 to 6, okay, the line 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is adjoined with the plot 1 information. Okay,
Mhm.
as Sheena said that the axis is undefined. So as you can see that in this second plot we didn't define anything, neither the axis neither the title. So
Correct.
for that, if you want the data, just define it. Okay, so for every thing, don't go with the, this is the uh, one way of presenting the this type of data. Okay, so there is another method, okay, what we call is subplotting. This is a example of subplotting. Also you can say that it is a subplotting. Okay, so suppose that if you want to subplot it, okay, so for that we have like suppose that I'm taking a x equals to np dot array of from 5 to 25 26, 5 to 16. Okay.
Why?
Sorry, I'm asking for array. So let's recall X. Okay. And let's again plot something like Y and add like X plus 5 and Y2 equals to X plus 9. Okay. So the first basic step will be like the similar way of plotting, like plt dot plot um, X and Y1. Okay. And plt dot plot okay. So the method is similar, okay, but the command which I am going to use is that suppose that for this add a plot plt dot subplot. Okay, this is 2 by 2 matrix, no? 2 by 1 and 1. Okay, and this one will be like plt dot subplot 2 1 2. Connecting. Am I audible to you, all of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, this
Yes.
is connecting like it's a okay. Don't worry. Subplot 211 212 X and Y. Similarly, to differentiate between these two, we can again like what we can do, what we can add is that just um, plt dot plot and X Y1 and like color, give it green, and for this plt dot plot
Piyush, what subplot is going to, go into more details, or what it is trying to do?
it will give you a more detail, and it will give you a more option to edit your uh, graphs.
Okay.
Otherwise, these two are similar things, but
Mhm.
if you have a option that which is I think good, if sometime if you forgot the first process, then you can remember the second one.
Mhm.
Okay. plt dot plot and this x and y2 with the line which will be like, okay, okay, this is a plot and this is a subplot. Okay, suppose that if you want to give it a title, the first one, I'm going to give a title for the first one. Okay, title I'm going to give it relativity. Okay, and similarly I'm going to define it dot level with the okay. So now you can see before this I was not using the show. Okay, so it was merging in it in the same graph. So now you can see that this is a graph for relativity between price and with for the apples price. Okay, so similarly I am going to copy it and I'm going to paste here and orange and it's red and yeah, price pld dot show. Okay, so this equation has been added into the second one. Now if you want to like you can see that this is a plain paper, so always graphical representation are used to plot in a grid. So for that we use plot plt dot grid. Okay, and call it true. Okay, okay.
PLT dot, right?
Yeah. So now you can see that this is the graphical representation within a grid. You can also like change this like plt dot grid and true. You can make it also these things like here add plt dot grid and true. In which line what I did, where I added plt dot in which line, eight market rate, same first shapes of 21 and 11. Okay, so there can be change in a shape, like the number of values has been shifted, something could be deleted. So this was executed, na?